Hey everyone, just thought I'd do a quick update. So here's the new bed I put together probably 3 weeks ago or so. Got 4 pickling cucumbers in the back. Hopefully I'll get a lot of cucumbers off of those. And the 2 little plants in the front are ahi dulce. They're getting some new shoots on the bottom, some new growth. So hopefully they'll do good for this year. And maybe I'll get some peppers off of those. We'll go take a look at the buckets. So the first bucket here is the celebrity tomato. I'm actually getting a couple now that are turning. What you see is all I'm going to get. This is actually a determinate tomato, which I didn't realize when we put it in. So I actually pruned it and took all the suckers off. So that wasn't too smart, but I guess it is what it is. This is a couple peppers in here. There is the banana peppers, which I'm kind of leaving on. I'm hoping I'll get a few more because I want to get a batch of them to pickle. And the other one here, I think, is a lipstick pepper. This is quite a large one. It's growing, you can see. So hopefully, once I get some ripe peppers, I'll try to figure out what that is. This one is a big beef tomato plant. There's one ripening, starting to ripen there, and a few more. These tomatoes didn't really do well. I'm thinking the heat. It dropped a lot of flowers. A lot of them didn't pollinate. You can see they just browned right out. Over here is my carrots. Take a while for those. In the back, I think these are lipstick or ahi dulce. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. Once they ripen, I'll look them up and make sure what I got. This is the albino bullnose. There are a ton of peppers. You can see way down in the back there, up in the front. Lots of those. They just got to get a little bigger. Come around here. This is my ahi habanero. I've already harvested a bunch. I cut the tops off and let it start regrowing. And you can see it's starting to put out some more habaneros down there. And they're delicious. No heat, but delicious peppers. There's my ripe peppadew. I've actually had one, and now that's the second one that I'm waiting to pick. But there are a ton of peppers on there, as you can see on the top. So hopefully I'll get a batch of them at one time here. That would be nice. This is the Midnight Dream bell pepper. You can see getting a decent size. You know, this one's a 2.5 to 3 inches, and the one up here is just a little bit bigger. This one's small, but hopefully it'll perk up there and start growing. Again, this is another mystery. I'm not exactly sure what these are. Oh, actually, you know what? These are the bullnose. Yep, these are the bullnose bell peppers as well. I have a lot of those this year. 2 more cucumbers in the bucket. Got to figure out a way to trellis all these things because they will grow up a trellis. And here is my lemon starburst. Bunch of pods down there. Just nothing getting ripe yet. And we'll take a quick walk over here to the mess of tomatoes. So there are a ton of tomatoes. These are a German red strawberry tomato. You can see the shape of them. This one back here is just humongous. I mean, it fits in the whole palm of my hand. And the shape of them are very cool. I can't wait for them to ripen so I can taste them, but there's a lot of those. This one back here is the Mr. Stripey. This thing is growing like crazy. That's actually a Mr. Stripey there. There's not a lot of tomatoes on it, but the thing is growing super tall. Here's my cucumber in the back. I've only gotten like a half a dozen or so off of there. It's still growing, but I just don't think it's doing well because it's in the back of all the tomatoes and it blocks the sun. Here's another tomato. This also has a bunch of tomatoes on it. I just can't remember now what they are, but I'm sure they'll be good. I think seeds got mixed up because I have no cherry tomatoes, which I was pretty sure I had quite a few of those. So this is probably 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 5 different varieties of tomatoes in here. Super Marmondi, Brandy Fred. Those are dwarf ones, and these are the dwarf ones with these really thick leaves. These are actually dwarf tomatoes, this one and this one as well. I have these are zucchinis. There's 3 zucchini plants here. I've had about a half a dozen or so, and here's another one. Probably ready to come off. A couple more starting down here. Don't know what happened with that one. That one's not going to be good. And I have a squash, which is back here. I picked one, and this is the second one. Again, these probably should have been in the front instead of in the back for sun purposes, but it's too late now. So this is a big boy beef. I actually have a few here. This plant's growing crazy as well. They got away from me trimming wise, so maybe next year I'll do a little better. Got a couple in here. This is the early girl that also has a bunch of tomatoes on it. A couple just started ripening. I picked one and saw that it was chewed on, I believe, by a chipmunk. So I wasn't real happy about that, but. And again, this is another dwarf variety, you can tell by the leaves. And again, it's probably only maybe 3 feet tall. I don't know if you can see it because of the sun. It's only about 3 feet tall. And the one in the back, I don't remember what that one was either. These are the bell peppers. The one, there's orange bells and yellow bell. That one actually has a pepper on it. And this one is actually a squash. It's a custard squash. Never had it before. That'll be the first one. I waited too long on the other one. It didn't actually puff up like that one did on the bottom. It kind of flattened out and then cracked. So I'm not exactly sure what happened with that. And then here I have some more Midnight Bell, Midnight Dream Bell. And again, I don't remember what that back one was. And this is actually beans. And that is actually a bean plant too, but something happened to that. I don't know what. So that's not really growing very well. And this one is actually beans. You can see I got a bunch of beans coming in down here. This is a bush bean. And that's it for the update. Hope you guys liked it. I'm actually going to do another video, I think, with the mistakes I've made. Things like that. Because as you can see, most of the real gardeners out there can probably see that I've made a bunch of mistakes. So I'm going to tell you the ones that I know about anyways. And hopefully then you'll comment and let me know of all the other ones that I made. So hopefully I'll put that video out pretty soon. But for this one, this is all I got. So hope you liked the video. Please click the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And thanks for checking it out. See you later.